Well, good morning, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Extend Your Access webinar put on by Stone Systems via Autodesk. I would like to make you aware that there will be a couple of slides that have some music in them, so hopefully I have that volume turned up good enough that you can hear it, and hopefully it's not too loud. So let's get started. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Steve Coburn. I am the lead technical solutions engineer here at Sterling Systems. And again, we want to thank you for attending today. Complexity has grown in the infrastructure industry amidst increasing project sizes and the need to stay competitive and profitable. Overcoming this complexity and making more informed decisions about your civil infrastructure software is getting critical. Today, we want to tell you how to extend that access with the latest technologies, the processes and strategies that can help you deliver successful infrastructure projects, including how to improve your communication with your stakeholders, how to reduce the rework and increase profitability, how to enhance the detail and accuracy of your project designs, how to more effectively identify and resolve those issues virtually before breaking ground, and how to stay competitive and productive. The challenges that the industry is facing impact not only your customer-facing engagement, but they present internal pressures as well. Let's talk about some of the challenges that you might be facing within your organization. The current reality of today's infrastructure industry is driving the demand for changes in the way work is traditionally done. The shift towards urbanization is putting more strain on the aging infrastructure of our cities, and as such, we continue to see huge investments in the infrastructure in most of the world's largest economies. Yet, economic pressures are forcing companies to compete for fewer projects. When they do win a project, businesses often have to provide a faster turnaround or work with less funding. And in some instances, customers are often asking for more work to be done for less money. The challenge for the industry is to align innovative technology with the areas where they can have the biggest impact, whether it's based on the economy, leveraging innovative technology, or conforming to sustainability regulations. All of these drivers point to one solution. And we want to extend our access because the challenges that we face are internal and external. The challenges that we might be facing in the organization are, as you can see here, our productivity and our accuracy. We'll be talking about a lot of the productivity and accuracy referring to design and details within the webinar today. And while the challenges that we face internally, they may be more critical of the challenges that have an impact when we're involved with communications. This is when you create a preliminary design model and are working on a project intent and updating that. And how about predictability? With working to identify and resolving the issues virtually before we break the ground. And of course, extending the value using the software at hand. And we're here today to help you solve the problems. We believe by extending your access, there are both great value and opportunities that we are excited to share with you today. In your current role, you might have responsibilities as a business lead or a technical user. Through this session, we aim to show how we can deliver on this promise of the value through the infrastructure project lifecycle. So we're going to start with preliminary design. Now, preliminary design in engineering is an important, often forgotten phase in the lifecycle of an infrastructure project and can benefit from the BIM for infrastructure workflows. Work completed between the planning and design phases is needed to confirm the scope, budget, and schedule. Autodesk Infraworks 360 Pro software provides this added value to civil infrastructure projects in this phase. We want to create models from the existing data. We use this by open source feature data object such as FDO technology. Infraworks supports the spatial data from a variety of data sources. I'm going to list these off a little bit. let you know what it does support. It supports the ESRI SHV files. It supports the CityGML files and Oracle Microsoft SQL Server, PostGIS, PostgreSQL, SQLite, MySQL, and the ESRI ARC SDE databases. It also supports importing data from a 3D laser scan and other reality capture files, those that have been converted to RCS format by the Autodesk Recap software. And it also includes imported data from other Autodesk technology. You can also create and manage large-scale models from existing data sources and more securely publish, store, and manage those large infrastructure models. We can also link it for direct access to the curated weogeo.com site. Use existing conditions to help inform the planning and design concepts. You're basically using this as alternatives to be able to show your project team. So let's look at some types of detailed models that we can use that's created from this Autodesk technology. Improve your ability to incorporate the detailed data from existing 2D CAD, 3D model, the GIS and CityGML files, and the raster data. Again, allowing existing conditions to help inform the design concepts. With incorporated detailed models, the Autodesk AutoCAD Civil 3D software, and more specifically the land XML and IMX formats, as well as numerous terrain and imagery file formats, which include the Mr. SID, ECW, and georeference TIFF files, can also be imported. We can also import AutoCAD Map 3D files. Also, Revit software can be used as well. Using the RVT files, they can be imported directly into the Infraworks. Also, we can use the Autodesk 3ds Max design and the Navisworks files, and of course, most of the Autodesk software. So, winning work with the Autodesk Infraworks. Traditional boundaries of data and access to data are fading. Creating a 3D model of the existing environment is now not only feasible, but quick and easy to do. Consider aggregating readily available geospatial data to create a 3D model of an area where a bypass project is being considered. The town is looking at alternatives for creating a flyover, and your firm is a candidate being considered to do the preliminary and detailed design work. With this rich model of existing conditions in place, you can develop design proposals in the context of the existing environment, which means early identification of issues that could require attention in design and providing a way to either avoid the issues or know what you're getting into at the onset. As you work through ideas for the design, you get immediate visual feedback to help determine feasibility, which helps you communicate to the client that you clearly understand the project needs. Additionally, analysis tools such as slope or elevation analysis or this land use theme provide a means for communicating quantitative feedback. Prove to your client that your proposal considers factors beyond the minimum requirements, such as anticipating and avoiding difficult permitting situations, right-of-way acquisition, and prohibitive construction costs. In this case, we've encountered some protected land that would require expensive earthwork and permitting to support road construction. While this alternative may have seemed like a logical choice at first, we need to have a look at another option. The proposal for the second option takes a less direct route across the interchange, but you can help your client understand why this alternative is a better solution. More people are vying for fewer projects. How do you make your project proposal stand out in order to win work without losing time and money? Are you just another consultant putting up another boring PowerPoint, or are you using the elements of the model combined with the storyboarding tools in Infraworks to help you create a video that tells the story of each proposal? These scenarios can be published to web and mobile devices so that your clients can take the project home with them for additional review if desired. When you use the data-rich project proposals to communicate different options, you demonstrate that you have a complete and unmatched understanding of the project and are therefore the best firm for the job. This is why you need Autodesk Infraworks in your toolbox for winning more work. Creating a model aggregating data from existing conditions, leveraging the GIS and other freely available data and laser scanning technology helps build a more accurate picture. In this following video, the story to be told is this. A new hotel concept in Las Vegas is to be planned, but before commissioning, surveys are conducted in the field. Using freely available GIS datasets, which can be used to test the concept, to understand the data better, use of scanning technology can be used to capture the existing conditions. Using the mobile scanning technology from Topcon, they drove the Las Vegas Strip and captured the distance from the airport to the site in question, near to the stratosphere. Capturing 7 gigabytes of data within the time it took to drive the route, and you now see it transformed and visualized using the Autodesk Recap Pro. They then took the model created from the GIS data and other freely available models and built the model of the strip with Autodesk Infraworks and combined the scans with the model. Now taking a drive down the strip, they get the actual as-built scan data against the backdrop of the model. I hope everybody enjoyed that. All right, let's talk about our next topic, communication. In the early stages of the infrastructure project development, teams can more efficiently generate quality comments and a solid understanding of the design intent with support from the combined power of your AutoCAD Civil 3D and Autodesk Infraworks software. In the preliminary design stages, design teams can use Infraworks to develop a functional plan and estimate with enough detail to help stakeholders understand that concepts agreed to in the scope of work are included in the estimate. The preliminary design model elements can be brought into Civil 3D in order to create the exhibits that are often required for the 30% plan submittals, including approximate right-of-way plans, plan and profile sheets, and first-run cross-sections. In addition to the 2D plan documents, participants can explore the 3D model in Infraworks during preliminary design review meetings. Possible scope changes can be more easily evaluated and considered since adjustments can be made to the model on the fly during the meeting. Once the agreement has been reached, teams can continue refining the model in Infraworks and bring this model components into Civil 3D when it's appropriate to begin more detailed work. Getting to 30% with the Autodesk Infraworks. In the early stages of the infrastructure project development, teams are typically working towards the creation of 30% plans. These plans can be used to confirm scope, budget, and schedule. Design work at this stage with a high level of detail is often cost prohibitive, so in the past preliminary design reviews often relied on low detail static 2D plan sheets. One of the goals of the 30% design review is to ensure that the design team is on track, as well as understanding what pieces of the project would require things like right-of-way purchase or special permits, so the processes can begin alongside with the design and not cause a bottleneck later. Right-of-way acquisition needs and impacted land types are considered as part of the decision-making process at this stage. In this scenario, the analysis tools in Infraworks were used to identify several parcels that would be expensive to purchase. You can work through different alignments and land configurations to find an alternative that avoids impacting these parcels. Infraworks gives you the power to create functional design models at the appropriate level of detail for early reviews, all within a 3D sketching environment. Before investing the time producing the 30% submittal package, you could sit down with your client and evaluate the project, transform review meetings into interactive feedback sessions, making adjustments to the model on the fly. You can quickly arrive at an effective solution with minimal debate because decisions are backed by information and the robust 3D model helps everyone understand the decisions at every step of the way. The engineering teams can proceed with confidence knowing that the viable alternatives were identified and evaluated. The preliminary design model elements can be brought into Civil 3D in order to create the exhibits that are often required for 30% plan submittals. This usually includes approximate right-of-way plans, plan and profile sheets, and a first run of cross-sections. In addition, detailed design work can continue without duplicating efforts, saving your company time and money. You need Autodesk Infraworks in your tool chest to enable you to quickly create the level of detail necessary to attain preliminary design approvals. This speeds up the overall design process and gets you to construction faster. Once your story is ready to be told, you can visualize specific scenarios via the Autodesk Infraworks 360. With interested parties who are not Autodesk Infraworks 2014 users via a web browser. This gives broader access to project proposals and the ease and convenience of using a mobile device. More effectively communicate project intent via 3D models and freely navigate through a rich visual environment and view multiple scenarios in the real time during interactive feedback sessions. Also, share models and specific scenarios with a broader range of stakeholders in a more secure cloud environment. Gaining the agency approval with the Autodesk Infraworks. Review agencies need to understand and approve projects before they can be built. In the past, it has been very difficult for the design team to gain agency buy-in from the beginning. With Infraworks, you can change that conversation from day one by supplementing your conversations with agencies using data-rich 3D models. One of the biggest bottlenecks during a transportation project is obtaining the necessary permits for things like wetlands encroachment. It is critical to sit down with the regulating agencies as early as possible to demonstrate that you've explored several alternatives, as it is not always possible to avoid impacting these areas altogether. When it comes to coordinating with agencies such as wastewater collection authorities, the approval process is slow and linear, often involving the constant back and forth review of 2D plans without much in-person interaction between the reviewer and the design team. Every comment and miscommunication can cost the design team time and money. Change the conversation with Infraworks. Sit down with the regulators and show them that you have a deep understanding of their concerns and that you are working towards a design that keeps their needs in mind. Navigate the rich 3D model in real time and give them a tour to better understand how their assets are part of the project as a whole, whether it's the right-of-ways or buffer zones or the pipes and manholes themselves. Better communication of data-rich, early design concepts includes the ability to conduct interactive feedback sessions to point out locations of sensitive areas such as farmlands and special zoning in the region. Different alternatives can more easily be discussed and will help minimize comments and changes after the preliminary design is submitted. You can proceed with confidence by taking the design concepts directly into simple 3D to continue detailed design, saving your company time and money. Next, we want to talk about the enhancement of the detail and accuracy of project designs. Develop the early design concepts in context by modeling the infrastructure such as roads, rail, and pipe networks more accurately in the context of the existing environment. One, we want to use enhanced layout capabilities to more easily and multiple items such as roads, bridges, and buildings to your model or proposal. We want to create multiple alternatives in a single model and gain greater insight by generating preliminary design proposals at the appropriate level of detail in order to help increase confidence in project scope and budget. We also want to more efficiently evaluate multiple alternatives by exploiting the data behind the preliminary design options and better predict how alternatives may behave within the context of the built environment. Next, we want to help to speed the overall design process by performing preliminary engineering tasks in Infraworks and then importing the preferred alternative into Civil 3D to continue the detailed design work. Using the data from other Autodesk software to gain greater insight early in the process and complete detailed designs with less rework is always a positive outcome. Autodesk AutoCAD Civil 3D and Autodesk Infraworks work together. In the early stages of infrastructure project development, teams are typically working towards the creation of the 30% plans. These plans can be used to confirm scope, budget, and schedule. How can teams more efficiently generate quality comments and a solid understanding of design intent? The answer? Workflows that combine the power of Autodesk Infraworks and AutoCAD Civil 3D. The preliminary design model elements can be brought into Civil 3D in order to create exhibits that are often required for your 30% plan submittals. This includes right-of-way plans, plan profile sheets, and your cross-runs cross-sections. In addition to the 2D plan documents, participants can explore the 3D model in Infraworks during preliminary design review meetings. Possible scope changes can be more easily evaluated and considered since adjustments can be made to the model on the fly during the meeting. Once agreement has been reached, teams can continue refining the model with Infraworks and bring model components into Civil 3D when it is appropriate to begin more detailed design work. During the design phase of a civil engineering project, design teams need to quickly create, analyze, and present design options to both clients and project stakeholders. Autodesk offers a powerful BIM solution where AutoCAD Civil 3D and Autodesk 3ds Max Design work together using a process that enables virtually anyone who works on civil engineering design projects to produce compelling visualizations of projects regardless of size. By making visualization an integral part of the entire design process, teams can better evaluate and communicate their design at any stage. Near photorealistic visualizations and animations of infrastructure projects helps to better communicate design intent to non-technical stakeholders and helps to better communicate proposals by enabling the viewer to drive the roadway virtually. Content in 3ds Max Design retains its relationship with the model information from Civil 3D, so as the project evolves and the design model is refined, these changes can easily be incorporated into the existing visualization, eliminating the need to manually rebuild the visualization after every design change. Creating visualizations as part of the design process is a growing trend and is important to recognize for many firms. Working together, Civil 3D and 3ds Max Design make it easier to improve the overall quality of roadway designs. Utilizing this rich 3D model produced in design, teams can identify and resolve issues virtually before breaking ground by visualizing projects holistically, modeling constructability, and performing clash detection. Navisworks Simulate and Navisworks Manage software can use model data from Civil 3D aggregated with information from other sources to help engineers minimize costly errors by performing simulations and analysis before construction begins. Additionally, if interferences are identified with Navisworks, the link back to the dynamic 3D model within AutoCAD Civil 3D enables engineers to more quickly update designs and related documentation. With improved coordination between designers and construction teams, the volume of time and cost-intensive change orders may be reduced. When it's time to break ground, enhanced 3D models can be used to help sequence construction activities and guide construction equipment. With help from Autodesk Navisworks products, project engineers can visualize 4D sequencing to help improve staging and scheduling and to better direct field teams. This can help speed project completion by minimizing idle time for workers while helping to better predict leasing, maintenance, and fuel costs for construction equipment. So let's give a summary of how we want to extend your value. The Autodesk Infrastructure Design Suite is a very comprehensive BIM for infrastructure software solution. This combines intelligent, model-based tools to help you gain more accurate, accessible, and actionable insight throughout the project, execution, and lifecycle of transportation, land, utility, and water projects. With the Infrastructure Design Suite, you can better understand and communicate project risk intent and options before a project is built. You can maintain more consistent data, context, and processes across the project lifecycle. And you can respond more quickly to change with processes that are smarter, faster, and mobile. The Autodesk subscription gives customers an advantage with more cloud computing capabilities and capacity, upgrades to the latest software releases, online technical support, and flexible licensing privileges. Sorry about that, guys. Subscription customers have greater cloud computing capabilities and more storage capacity. As a result, they can view and share more design files on web or mobile devices. We can simulate and visualize more design options, and we have improved project results with web-based collaboration and data management solutions. Subscription customers also receive upgrades to the latest software releases and product enhancements for the products that we have on active subscription, ensuring that we always have the newest design tools to do our jobs. We also have flexible licensing privileges that enable us to use both previous and current versions of our software. We can install the software on both home and office computers, and we can use the software outside the country purchased for up to 90 days. Basic technical support also enables customers to quickly resolve issues and get back to work. Subscription customers also have the option to purchase increased levels of Autodesk technical support if needed. Today we talked about how to extend your access through extending your communication by helping identify problems with existing conditions before the start of a project. This improves communication, collaboration, project intent with stakeholders, and striving to communicate with stakeholders throughout the project. We also discussed extending your accuracy and productivity by enhancing the detail earlier in the design process to enable better accuracy throughout the project's preliminary designs in order to make more significant decisions at the 20 to 30% phase versus the 50, 60, or 70% phases, and how it would minimize rework and help increase profitability through the detailed design. We spoke on predictability and items to help identify and resolve issues virtually before breaking ground. In the end, we talked about value and that you need to stay more competitive and productive to win more jobs. At the close today, I'm glad you're here to listen. We here at Sterling Systems are here to partner with you by helping you during this process of utilizing your infrastructure design components, and we're here to provide consulting with your decision processes. I want to thank you for coming today, and if you have any questions, please contact us. And let's check here, see if we have any questions first. And no questions. I appreciate you listening today, guys. Feel free to give us a call. And at that, we'll close the webinar down. Thank you.